Give it up for UnSeen, y'all. Come on.
Sure.
My name is Daniel Borsellino. I play Brad Jones.
Yeah.
That's gonna be you, y'all.
My name is William Porter, and I play Nelson Gomez.
My name is Brad Sheen. I play a dirty bad bartender.
My name is Oliver Pizik, and I played young Nelson, and I like salad. Better than, chocolate.
Okay. My name's Lisa Pizik, and I played Caroline Jones.
Detective Hartwell. That's not my real name.
Real name.
Real name's Eric. I play Detective Hartwell.
Microphone, got it. Hello everybody, my name is Raymond. I was the DOP for the project.
All right, so does anybody have any questions right off the hop?
It's nice to see you survive being stabbed.
I know, that's it. Did we? I don't know. Thank you though. Thank you though. That was a good stab, wasn't it?
Oh, no, you didn't. I told him I didn't stack up. I didn't expect it.
Nice.
It was a nice twist.
Yeah, okay, so what were like, do you want to share your reaction and then maybe like ask a question? What do you guys got? We got Travis, he's gonna run with the mic. All right, don't be shy. Okay, Kathy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I really enjoyed the twist. Like that, to me, is there's something about that when you think you know what's gonna happen and you have no idea, it just keeps you on your toes. So I really like that.
Thank you so much. And
you always remember that it didn't.
Yes.
yeah,
100%.
like when you don't see it coming.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
And actually, so Eric, William, and I, and Oliver wrote it, and we went through maybe about 3 drafts of it, and we were like, oh, it's done, it's good, and it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was kind of just she doesn't remember him, that she had this fling because he drugs her. They have this little fling. He wants to be with her. He kidnaps the daughter. She stabs him. End of movie. And we're like, that's it. We're good. We're done. And then I woke up the next morning and I was like, can everybody come back to my house? Need everybody in the house. And they're like, okay. And I said, it's been done before. I want something different. I want something we haven't seen. So I got out the whiteboard and I was like, let's just throw like every ridiculous idea you could think of on the board. Like she's living in an alternate reality. She really has a lovely husband and she had a psychotic break. And we just went through all these ideas to try to make it something that you haven't seen before, something that you didn't see coming. So always trust your gut. Like it might not be done.
Is that where the title came from, UnSeen? Because we would not see that coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you wanna talk about that?
Yeah, so the name, like, because in the acting world, you can find yourself seeing yourself not being seen as a person or an actor. So we also wanted to kind of contribute that to the film in some way. And we thought the name and then the story-wise went well with it.
I think it's, for me, it was the things that we let fester. The conversations that we don't want to have, the difficult conversations, like what was going on in that house, what was going on in that marriage, what was going on with the dad and the daughter. And it's like, you just sweep it under the rug. It'll get better, but it doesn't, right? When we don't talk about it, things fester, things get out of hand. So when you leave things unseen, it's never a good outcome for anyone. Anybody else want to?
I think it speaks to the motivation of Nelson too, feeling unseen.
100%. 100%.
I like the flashback for a kid though, when you were a kid. I like that. That was pretty cool.
I just want to say on YouTube, there is a 30-minute length podcast about UnSeen, and it's free at your guys' value. So
Do you want to
we
share?
talk a lot about. Sorry. So we talk about the process, what we interpret the scene to be about, and our progress in getting into the characters in and out, and some of BTS stories as well. So it's a very fun day, and we talk a lot about it. And
Is this your first project?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is both of our first projects of our own, not our first project as actors, but as our own, yes.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Really good.
I just want to get everyone's favorite kind of behind the scenes story here for a moment. I have one that stands out to me, and it actually takes place just downstairs here. We are shooting the Hartwell scene coming down the stairs, and we have a smoke machine with us. What does that smoke machine do? Set off the fire alarm.
I love that my mom's here right now too, so maybe Eric, you can give her the recipe. I don't know how you make your coffee. But, oh my goodness, man, the coffee. To this day I think about it.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna put some more. Like,
I forgot to make it that when you came over.
Or you could share. Do you want to share your part about your scene?
Yeah. So they asked me. I met Lisa, William, Dan, all in acting class in Lancaster, and they said we're putting a project together. You want to be part of it? So, And on set, I was a bad bartender, so they had kept mixing drinks all day, drink a lot of iced tea and water. That magic powder, Lisa, I don't know what that was, but yeah. But it was a great day. I'm honored to be a part of this project, and honestly, everybody up here, I'm telling you, all stars. Just watch for the future, everybody here.
So in my scene, I have like the girl who was like, "Oh, you're weird." That used to be my old friend, actually, from a while ago when I was like 6. Yeah, when I was like this small. And yeah.
And tell them you wrote that scene. You wrote those words. So you wrote this scene. My favorite was the one that you are a heavy pour. So we kept messing up that scene, and I had to keep drinking. And I was like, we got one more scene or my bladder is gonna burst. Like, we gotta get this right. So that was one thing that stood out for me. And I think just the fight scene I really enjoyed. Just being physical, and it's kind of like a bugaboo of mine when you get in this like middle age category for acting. Like, I get typecast as like nice mom and cute mom and like nurse, and I was like, I just want to play some like just bad, just messed up kind of mom. She's really messed up from her narcissistic husband. But I'm like, I want to be physical. I want to show that women can, handle their own. We're not just baking cookies in the kitchen, taking care of our kids the best we can, right? So that was my favorite scene, the fight scene.
I'm not supposed to be up here at all, so for me, I think a lot of it was the prep and behind the scenes stuff that really got me kind of excited. For me, I've never even been part of this type of thing, so seeing it all come together from start to finish was really interesting, because a lot of people don't get to see that part, right? You see the finished thing and you go, this is awesome, this is cool, whatever, and you get to be a part of that, but you don't get to see the sweat and tears that go behind that, and the hours and hours and hours
And hours.
Lisa gave me a challenge. That was to gain 40 pounds for this role. I took it seriously. I remember, like, we had a person who was going to take on this role of Detective Hartwell, and it didn't go as we planned. And I remember we were going to interview different people for the role, and it was like 3 days before, and Lisa's like, I don't know what we're going to do.
Because you're not an actor.
I'm not an actor at all.
Act.
No.
Right.
And Lisa's like, well, you know it. You know the scenes. You know, like, everything that has to be done. You know, like, what we have to do to set it up. She's like, you got to do it. Great. Okay. So I took it on. In terms of the actual scene that was my favorite, I would say I love thrillers. So for me, it was the scene here in the basement. That's the death scene, I guess you want to call it. The stabbing scene. That was probably my favorite. Just from sheer, like, it was cool to kind of, you'd see the room now and you'd be like, it's a little crappy storage room. There's like dishes on the side, and there's like cutlery and stuff, and there's like weird keyboards on the side. Looking at the movie now, you're like, well, it's we're able to test. You'd be like, if they're looking at that stuff, you did a bad job.
And I was like, really clean all that stuff
Yeah,
out.
like we gotta get it
And
all
Ray was
out
like,
of here.
keep it. It gives context.
awesome.
It gives, you know. So that's
Anyway,
why you
enough of me. That was my favorite scene.
What do I say? Yeah, you know, honestly, in general filmmaking, if you're not in the industry, it's very much a team effort. You know, one thing I like about this industry, I've been in it for 20 plus years, so it's a long time for me. But, you know, it's a team effort for sure. It's not a solo game, so it's great to see a collaboration of filmmakers. So a little behind the curtain, you saw the long credits of crew members on there. Those are not on set the same day in any form. There were days where there was only like 2 or 3 of us together, and then there's other days like 4 of us together, and another days like three other guys together. So it was a lot of people that came together as a team to help create all this things. And there were days that the thing was set for like 3 days originally.
3 days. Yeah.
And then we looked at it, we watched what we had for our dailies, as they call for like catching up all the footage. And said, you know what, we're missing something. So we had added to that. We picked a day, we did it again. Oh, we're missing something. We added to that. So it ended up becoming like, what, 6 days of filming?
4 full days.
4 full days, yeah. And then a lot of little things that we shot here and there. So like a lot of add-ons. I mean, even in the editing process, we were still adding, we added some voiceovers in there. So it's kind of neat when you start seeing it all come together. You know, as Eric pointed out, a lot of blood and sweat tears that people don't see in the background, and a lot of these that get thrown to the cutting room floor. So there's a lot of additionals that we cut out. And we rearranged. We played Legos and building blocks behind it, so there's a lot of that. So it's a lot of fun to see it, to kind of see it all come together. So okay, so favorite scene, that was the other question. Mine would probably be when Daniel and grabbed the bat and I fucking bitch walking. You know, that's my favorite scene, honestly. You come in and the shadow. The reason why I like that scene is because I told when we were filming, they were talking about all these shots and the shot lists, and I was like, no, do everything like oneers. If you pay attention, this film has 4 oneers. And I'm very happy about that because it lets the actors really let the emotion just like ride through it. And let the audience go for the ride, not like, okay, we're riding, you go up the click and you stop. You go up the click, you stop. It's like, let the click go. Just let it ride. And it was a lot more fun to see the actors just let it go without having to stop that.
That feels more natural too.
Way natural, and I love a good oneer. Films that have oneers just really let the actors play the role. And Dan did a great job in that room, and we were like, I want to shoot it from here, from start to finish. We go from Daniel, grab the bat, get up, gets choked, goes to the floor, and then you see the shadow, you see foreshadowing, and then you see a shadow figure. So like all that was a wonder take. I think we did that 2 times and we were done. It was at the end of the night, so it was one of my favorite scenes, for sure.
Honestly, my favorite scene would probably be when Sophie's mad and she's in the kitchen. She turns on the tap, right? It did not work the first like 5 times. So like the tap we have, so you have to tap the top of it just to get it to work. You don't turn the handle, so it's like confusing.
Yeah, when you turn the handle,
Yeah.
it doesn't let it run. You feel like you have to tap it to turn it off.
Yeah.
But if you don't tap it back on, then when you put the handle up, it doesn't run.
Mhm.
It's meant for germs.
So we couldn't get the tap
Yeah.
to function.
Well, when we were filming, no one could figure out how to work the
No,
tap.
good. It was my own fault. I'm like,
It wasn't working.
yeah.
What kind of drew each of you to be a part of this?
So, there's a lot to it, especially for me and Lisa.
Yeah.
There was a film that we both auditioned for, and they told us that we were not lead quality stars for their film. So, pardon my language, we said fuck it.
I said to William, this was in September, I said, do you think we could write and film a movie before the end of the year?
And I said fuck yes.
He's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And And I think that was a big moment because if you would have said, that's too tight, I don't think we can do it, we can't get everybody together, we probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. And then I remember when I took the first stab at writing it, I made a Facebook post and I was like, writing my first short film, I have no idea what I'm doing. And Ray commented and said, I got you. Like, you need a crew, you want to film, I got you, let's talk. So it's kind of testament to, you don't always have to know, you just need to know your next step. You don't always have to know 100 steps ahead. Like, I had no idea how to, we learned so much on this. I had no idea how to write it, cast it, get crew, film, like we'd never done it before.
Like, and even in a way, we thought we knew things that we didn't know. Like, for me, I've worked on other sets, and apparently those sets were the worst sets to learn on because I had no clue what I was doing going into this.
And for me, I was like, who do I know in this industry? Like, Phil's sitting there, our sound guy, Travis was the jack of all trades, did a million things, from lighting to background to, whatever we needed him to do.
Mike Holder,
which no one's needed it. They're projecting. That's like, he looks good, doesn't he? He's good looking. I was like, who can I just kind of cherry pick? Like, and then Will's like, hey, have you met Daniel? And I was like, no, who's Daniel? And he shows me his thing. And I was like, oh, he's good. And they were like, oh, we need a bartender. We're like, Brian's just the sweetest guy ever. Like, he's such a good dude. We're like, let's have him. And Bob was in there, and then we heard your story. So it was just kind of like, how do we get really good people together and make something really incredible together? And I think that was the motivation behind not waiting for the phone to ring, not waiting for that perfect opportunity to come. Like, go make your own thing and bring other people in. Like, each one of us sitting here couldn't have done this, as we said, like, as Ray said, on our own. You need all the collaborative people to come together. So I think that was just, we wanted to do something in Hamilton. We wanted to keep, the Hamilton crew, the Hamilton community. And then we have, like, Kathy sitting there from Salty Bikini. She was one of our sponsors. So the sponsors, you'll see some of those we tried to do it discreetly, but we put their product placements in there, and they helped pay for the film, because you gotta book your, insurance and pay your cast and crew and food and all the things. So you really need, outside of even just cast and crew, you need other people to help you bring this to life. So it was just all about kind of keeping it homegrown and that indie spirit, and it's like, we don't know, but we'll figure it out along the way. And that was what we did.
What would you do different next time?
For me personally, so I helped, like, as the writer, me, Eric, and William, and Oliver wrote it, and then I helped co-direct it, and then I also produced it, so I was kind of doing all the coordinating with all the people and players and places and things, and then I also was the lead actor. That was a bad idea. So I would be on one side of the camera or the other. So I would write it and act, or I would write it and kind of direct produce. So I wouldn't try to be on both sides of the camera, because it was hard for me to get into actor brain. And then I really love taking care of people. So I would get off the set, like my scene, and I'd be like, do you need food? Do you have anything? Are you okay? Where's our props for here? Do we have everything we need? So it was just one side of the camera or the other for me was a big learning lesson. You can, pick what you want to do and then get the right people in place to do all the rest. So that was a huge learning curve for me.
Sure, what am I doing?
What would you do different? Yeah, that's a good answer.
Wait, we have to go back to your question first.
What would you do differently? Oh.
Yours was?
What was the motivation behind doing it? Yeah.
For me, I'm a huge champion of dreams. So if you have a dream, come see me. Because I'll just be like, damn straight, we're gonna do it. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we'll do it. We'll get it done, and we'll make sure we end up here, which is kind of cool because a lot of people like to dream, but they don't know how to bring that dream into existence, which is hard.
I like to hear Ray's motivation behind, because you work on like big films and big things.
Well, I get the microphone.
Yeah. Well, then we'll throw it back to you.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to.
I can definitely.
What's your motivation for helping us indie people?
Okay.
No, we'll go back to you.
Part B. Motivation. I mean, for me, I'm a filmmaker. This is my art. Everyone has their different art. People like to paint. People like to build cars. Those kind of things. For me, filmmaking has always been a really big, strong passion after my second degree, kind of oddly enough. Yeah, I got a degree in engineering, didn't care for it, and then fell into filmmaking. So that's basically what happened in California, kind of flipped over. So that was my motivation early. It's just I just loved the art of pictures. I used to take photos a lot. I love the motivation of like how you can project a certain kind of persona, a certain kind of character on. So you can change. I love the way that audiences revert their brains after any kind of movie, and whether they learn something or take something from it or hate everybody. One of the two. They just get a really cool emotion, and I love seeing that change of even an audience from the beginning of a film to the end of a film. It's just kind of really so for me, motivation is to kind of see your faces when you walk out of here. It's kind of cool. So I'll be staring at you. That's because I'm like, would I do anything different? Oh God. For you all, I would suggest to do different is more pre-prep.
Yeah. 4 months is not a good timeline.
Yeah, pre-prep it's a world. I mean, you do that for anything, right? Everyone pre-preps for their vacations, pre-preps for like your meal plans, and in filmmaking, it's the same idea. You got to pre-prep it to really ensure you have everything in place. So when you fall into a building block, you can do it, and then when you run into a bump in the road, which always happens, I always walk into set thinking, 10 things are gonna fall apart. It's okay. That's why these people are like, oh my God, there's something on the road. It's like, I don't care. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Just roll over it. Okay? It's not the important part of the overall. If the cake kind of falls a little bit, it's still a cake. In the end of the day, if people like the taste, they're gonna be happy. If they like the story, they're gonna be happy. If you talk about a little piece of lint on Eric's corner, that's not part of the cake. Okay? It's just a little bit on the side. So yeah, so that's how I would do differently. Is just more prep. That's all.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you get a question.
Oh yeah, differently. Definitely time. That was my big thing, like when these two were like, yeah, let's get done this year. And I'm like, instantly like, come on, you're talking like a year minimum. And I get that side Ray was just talking about. I am the kind of, we gotta think about every little detail.
Yes.
Before we go full war, because shit's gonna happen. Holy shit happened.
I already said mine, so what do you go? Would you do anything differently?
I would eat less food.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. Everything was good.
For me, I would say time as well. I don't like going back to that day. Would I change my mind of can we do it in 4 months? Probably would still say no, and let's do it. But going forward, I would say more time.
To touch on time, I showed up 2 hours early by accident before my call time, and I was in the freezing cold for a good 2 hours with a light jacket on. That was all my fault. So I would definitely not overestimate the value of time and get there. What my call time is. Whatever my call time is. Fun experience though.
If you could turn this into a full-length feature, what would you like to explore more?
Great question.
For me, it's younger Nelson. I would want to see more of younger Nelson. The story there, because we hear Detective Hartwell talk about how he's 17 and what happened. We talk about the foster homes. I kind of want to see that perspective of his life in that way. And then like even more with Caroline and Brett. What's their story? How did they meet? How did it just like fall to this, tumultuous relationship?
Sorry, since William still has the microphone, my question for you, which bridges off of that, is the closing scene in the trailer, but the opening scene in the short film. You're in the cemetery, which is really cold that night. Why were you there?
I was at Brad's grave. We wanted to set this creepy tone to the film, and that was actually a fun night. It was like 11:30 at night, people looking out their windows at us, wondering what we're doing. And I have this idea of doing it with no sweater and just my shirt. It is -4. Do not recommend walking with no sweater or anything at that time of year, but I will say it made the movie beginning so much more in a way, because we watched it with a sweater and we're like, what the fuck's that?
So, yeah, I actually do have an answer now for that question. I like playing these dark villainous characters a lot. I'm always willing to be versatile, but I think my main niche is these dark characters because I'm so interested into finding out what made them snap. No one's born just evil. Maybe there's an exception to that rule, but I think people, for the most part, something in them snapped. And to discover more the character Brad, such a dark, terrible human being, he was a baby at one point. He never had a thought. He was a baby crying out of a womb at one point. What led up to that?
I actually say it all the time. I was like, if it's so boring, how do they get that way? Get that awful?
Yes.
Yes.
Some people were born into it, some people had a traumatic, and I like to find out what happened, doing my research and whatnot, and then kind of build that in the character. And I also like the challenge of trying to de-roll, because when I did get into Brad, my goodness, there was like 2 or 3 days where I was really trying to convince myself, look, my name is Daniel Borsellino, I am not this character, I got no intentions to be this wicked, and yeah, it's quite the trip.
To touch on like Williams with like me, like when I was younger, I would like to definitely do like a lot of like me and like the orphanage getting bounced around to like, yeah.
I agree, 100%. Yeah, definitely what you guys said. More Nelson backstory, more Caroline and Brad. And, like, hopefully, the thing that I really thought was important about this film was also not to make it black and white. Like, is Caroline a good mom or not? Some people would say she's a great mom. Some people would say she's a terrible mom. Is Brad really a narcissistic abuser? Or is there something deeper? Is Nelson a bad guy? Right? Bounced around in foster care, beat up his dad, drugged a woman, killed for his love. But when you hear the backstory, so I just think it opens, it just opened conversations about what you believe in and what your beliefs are. And I think that was kind of the conversation that we wanted, to explore. And so more on Caroline too. I think narcissism and that kind of being in an abusive relationship, you question your own. She's really not sure whether to sound the alarm with Hartwell or not. And Hartwell kind of listens, but doesn't listen. And a lot of times, he second guesses. And I think we've all had that moment where it's like, are we crying wolf? Like, when do we actually take action? And that's why that scene's so big for Hartwell when he comes in, because he missed it. And then now he's seeing what happened. And we've all had that, like, oh, I should have done something sooner. So I think just more on the backstory of how we got there. Mm-hmm. I'm like, we'll do a prequel. Actually, my hope is to do a prequel, this, and maybe a sequel, and then it could be like a feature film.
If we do a sequel, I would like if like they figured out that like Sophie actually did all that stuff, and then Sophie goes to jail or something like that. Yeah. So, yeah.
Psycho or
Who? I know. It's like everyone's like, who got shot?
Mm-hmm.
Who got shot? I don't know.
For me, to answer that question with a feature film, I think if you look at each character, it'd be kind of interesting. Every one of them could have their own feature film.
Yeah.
Essentially, right?
Yeah.
And it'd be kind of cool to see them with the last 3 minutes play out.
Mm.
Like your life led to this,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of how it's.
That's
I see this as a feature film.
Thank you. I was like,
Oh, that's hilarious.
feature filming. I mean, yeah. I was gonna say, do the feature film. Period. That's all I was gonna say. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably stretch out the Sophie and the dad characters for sure. I like their dynamics. I like where they're at. They had some pretty strong dynamics in the short, so I'd like to see that kind of blow. And then of course the relationship between the detective and the mom, and Carolyn. To see where did that come from? Like, I mean, she had the phone, like, she dialed him right away.
There was chemistry.
There was chemistry there somewhere, right? They could turn it into anything.
Quite a bit of your story, unfortunately. Yeah.
So yeah, that would have been an interesting, like, stretch those out a little more.
What did you guys want to know more about? Like, what intrigued you?
Where's Sophie?
Where's Sophie? What happened to her? Not here.
She got shot.
You got shot.
She left forever. She ran away from home and never came back.
What kind of budget were you able to get it done in the amount that you thought, or did it?
No.
Never, never.
Donations still
Nope.
welcome.
We made a lot of money to make a movie. So originally, we were like, we could do it. This is how we're so novice. We're like, we could do it for like $1,000. We're like, we'll shoot it out of my home, which all of the home scenes are our home. That is, we did use our home as a location. We're like, we'll shoot it, our co-director Ben, like he shot a film on his iPhone. We're like, we'll shoot it on an iPhone and we'll just do it out of my house and we'll do it for $1,000 when it was supposed to be the like original script. Then the script kind of morphed, and then Ray actually said something to us where he said, don't worry about the typical cinematographer fashion. Don't worry about the budget. Who cares? Like, just create what you want to create, and you'll figure it out later. Like, as said from the cinematographer. No, I'm kidding. But, not really. But, we ended up needing several locations. So the basement here is where we shot, all the creepy kidnapping scenes. KIC is where Ray owns a studio. In Burlington, we shot Detective Hartwell. Pulp Fiction is a friend of ours that owns the bar, so he let us go in as long as we bought food for everybody. He let us go in and use the back room of the bar. So there's a lot of favors, Colleen. So even with favors and friends, it was about $4,200 for pre-production, and then post-production's $2,000, so like $6,200, and then there was probably an extra maybe $100 or $500 or so in like props, wardrobe, like just kind of odds and ends. So we're probably coming in at around $7,000. Snacks. The crew like they eat. We get like a lot. What do we get? Like 4 pounds of wings, and I think I blinked and they were gone at the bar. There were just bones left. I was like, what's happening? So they eat a lot. But yeah, we ended up coming in about, we thought $1,000. How ridiculous does that sound? $7,000 was about what it cost. And that's a low budget thing.
I just want to ask, Ray, how much was the cameras they used, right?
How much were they?
No, the lenses.
The lenses.
Oh, right. Yeah, those were actually donated, thankfully. They were nice enough to, they caught me at a good lull. When they asked me to do the project, I typically reach out to lens companies and I ask them, hey, can I borrow some lenses? I want to try something out. And so I didn't tell them we were making a film, but whatever. Yeah, the lenses we used, I think they were $60,000 for just the lenses. Just the lenses by itself.
Which is why I got insurance. I'm like, you don't need insurance on an indie film. I'm like, who's gonna pay for that lens if somebody like falls
Yeah.
or something?
Oh, I mean, total like gear. What are we at? Like $110,000, $150,000 in gear. At least. Audio, camera, lighting, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I mean, it's normal. Honestly, that's normal indie budget. Like indie budget world was around like $100,000. That's $50,000 to $100,000. What typical indie features? Features are actually around like a low budget. Let's say the movie that won the best for the Oscars. It's a low budget feature. In the big world, that's $6 million. That's low budget. Give you an idea. Everything everywhere all at once. That was the one. Yeah. But Nora was the one that won this recent one, and they were $6 million for low budget. Yeah. In the indie film world, low budget is like $100,000, $200,000. In low budget for like people who do L5 or do episodics are like $250,000, $300,000 low budget. So yeah, it gets pretty. It's intense, but I mean, it really comes down to like probably a third of it's food. Honestly, it really is. It really is a lot of food. It's a lot of food. It's because the gear, a lot of the gear comes in as donations. A lot of us have our own gear, so we're like, oh, just we'll flood that number. So we'll flood it for like the gear. The crew members, we're always happy to kind of like adjust things. But yeah, so it ranges. We're always helping each other. Again, we're filmmakers first before we think about it. That's all. Yeah, it was an actual conversation. I was like, don't worry about the budget. we'll make it happen. That's all I told her, we'll make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, that was like literally the first thing I said. I was like, I don't have that's one thing I would do different is I would collect money first. I did also apply to the city of Hamilton and we got a $2,000 grant, which was lovely. I never filled out like a 100-page grant proposal and I just kind of winged it and figured that out and got the grant, which was quite lovely, but I'd have the money in the bank first. But honestly, it was just, everyone was so kind. Like, I could not pay, even at $7,000, I could not pay the crew what they were worth. I could not pay the cast what they were worth. It was, Ray's like, it's a thank you payment. And I was like, that's all I can do, but that's what I can do. But it, like, you know, the cool part is, they never, the crew or the cast never came in with a mentality of like, oh, well, I'm only getting paid $100 or $50, like forget this, right? Or the crew never came in like, I'm just gonna phone it in because I'm not getting paid what I would normally be paid. Like the beautiful part in this indie world and what I love is the indie spirit of how everybody comes together for the love of the project and the love of creation and the love of just creating opportunities for yourself. And I think that's really rare in the world where everybody wants, you know, of course we want to be paid and we want to put food on our table, but it's just that, like, we're going to show up and do our very best no matter what you pay me. And that was really a huge honor to me. I don't want to speak for you guys too, but that was a huge honor to me that everybody came and showed up and just did a better job than I had ever even imagined of bringing this to life. So I'm super thankful for that, for all of the work. We have time for one or two more. Anybody has anything else?
I do have a question.
Okay.
Okay, our fight scene.
Yeah.
See the 6'3" person standing in front of you with a knife. What are your thoughts?
So that's where Mama Bear comes out. My thoughts are, we've already said a bunch of F-bombs, it's alright. My thoughts are, I'm going to fucking kill you. Right? Because that is like, that's where you hear about moms, like, you know, lifting cars off their children. Like, you know, it was interesting because I had done a lot of self-defense, like in like just real life, like Oliver and I did karate together, and I'd done self-defense classes, and you know, I'm like one belt away from a black belt, very cool, right? So I know how to defend myself. And when we were even doing the first couple of run-throughs, he was like going to stab me, and I was like, whoop. And I was like, oh, I have the knife. You die. And then I was like, no, Caroline doesn't know any self-defense. And that's when we were talking about the stunt coordinators. She's like, you have to act awkward because you are just a regular mom that does not have self-defense. So my first thought was, I'm a mother. You are trying to kill my child. I'm going to fucking kill you. That was my first thought. What was your first thought?
I mean, in a sense, I was wondering, can we get coffee? Because I was exhausted. But also, this is happening. This is our film, and we're starting with this scene right off the bat.
Yeah.
And like a lot of memories, you know, took place downstairs. It's people saying, you know, being stabbed's a bad thing. Sometimes it can be a good thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thankful for. With this is, you know, the memories we created alongside each other, and you know, making it happen instead of sitting back and you know, wondering where are we going next. I also want to just give a quick shout out to Rose in the booth. She's been helping us out all day, so we're very thankful to have her here today.
Yeah, Rose helped me when I did my one-woman show here. She teched my show, and I said, we gotta have Rose back. She's the best. Because they were like, you can have somebody else go up there and push the button. And I'm like, none of us are pushing the button. And Rose pushed the button. She's got us. Yeah, of course.
I wanted to just throw another behind-the-scenes thing. We were kind of, you get a big fun when you're getting into the post, because we've already done, as Eric pointed out, a lot of hours by this point.
Yeah.
We had this idea, and during the editing, start counting how many F words get dropped on the film, and we were laughing. I was like, I remember we were watching the film, and I was like, I don't remember the script saying this many F-bombs. And I'm looking at Daniel.
There were like two.
We're watching the scene. There was two in the whole thing, and then I remember the scene happened. I was like, and I looked at caught it, and I was like,
I blame my father.
There's one, yeah. So if you ever decide to watch the film again, it'd be fun just to kind of like play a drinking game of how many F-words. You'll be Caroline at the bar. You'll be following. Pretty much. Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah. We even shaved it down. I don't know if you noticed that. We cut out. We were like, this is a lot of F-bombs.
Yeah.
We had to cut some out. Because then we had this discussion about like how many F-bombs are allowed for short films, or like we're beyond NC-17,
Like R-rated,
we're beyond
yeah.
R-rated. Like we had to look up what are the allowances of. There is actually a level. I didn't know that. There's a level in films about how many cuss words can be done in films.
Filmmaker's worst nightmare.
It's very interesting too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good.
Yeah. Just in our argument scene, we're like, there's one, there's two, there's three, there's four.
I wanted to take it up a notch, but I was like debating. Like,
Oh my.
I think we dubbed down some.
You might be. You might be the one that doesn't swear. Oh, you don't swear. Yeah, young Nelson. That's
Yeah,
right.
kids
You
don't
don't swear either. You wish. No.
I swear.
and I would say something, a couple things real quick.
Just don't swear.
First of all, I just want to say I think it is fair to speak on behalf of everyone. Eric, you could have fooled us when you said you have no acting experience. That's true. Also, Nelson's PTSD flashback. When the flashback came back, the way you started shaking, bro. Oh my gosh, you sold the heck out of me. You sold the heck out of me. I just want to give the flowers where they're due, you know. Man, back everybody, man. Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys, man. You really brought it together. Even coming down here and stuff, man. Beautiful turnout. Couldn't be more grateful.
And I think we also need to say like Daniel, because like the role we gave him was not an easy role whatsoever. It was a dark one, but also, this underlying stuff, that could affect someone personally. And he played it with a grain of salt, and he showed up 2 hours early.
I always say it's the kindest humans that play the most evil parts. It's always the nicest people that can pull off that. And I know personally for me, like our argument scene, if I was truly with a narcissistic, ego-driven actor, I would have never been able to pull off that scene and make it believable. Like that was a really uncomfortable scene for me to do, the one. And I remember you'd be like, "Fuck you," and I'm like, and then I would come back from, because I was like slamming the bathroom door and leaving, and I would come back and we'd be like, "You okay? We would just like hug each other. We're like, "We're good." So I just want to say thank you for being the guy that you are, because you provided a great emotional safety to be able to have us make it believable that we were having a true husband and wife ugly spat. And even when he yelled at my mom, I fist bumped him and I was like, "Good job!"
Every time he tells you to do your homework.
I didn't even have to have those, like, this isn't real life, Oliver. He's like, "I know, Mom." Or he'll drop an F-bomb and I'm like, He's like, "You say it." You say it. I'm like, in a movie. Yeah.
So for that scene, me and Eric are actually downstairs, nowhere near a video. We can't see anything of what's going on, and all we hear is "You fucking bitch!" And we're sitting there trying not to laugh. And who else we have to give credit to? The producers, Penny and Pearl.
Oh, my
Because
puppies.
they were, I've
yes.
never seen so well behaved dogs, especially when someone was yelling at their mother.
Imagine Colombo.
Oh.
Inside joke.
And that was also interesting too, because we were originally going to do that scene in the living room, and then Ray was like, "You wouldn't have an argument in like the living room." And I'm like, "Yeah, we would." And he's like, "No." So I'm like, I'm getting like makeup. She's putting like dark circles under my eyes, and Eric comes up and he goes, "They want to film it in our bedroom." Let's kind of put a film crew in like, let's. So I never thought I would have a film crew like in my bedroom. But there you go, for the love of indie filmmaking.
And actually, we cut that part out. Poor Daniel was actually wearing his boxers the whole time.
Oh.
Yeah, if you notice my death scene, I had my pants pulled down. Count the check for your $150.
But another cool thing
Giveaway.
that I loved, for me, like a side effect that was great, is that that's our home. That's a townhouse that we're in now, so it's like not our forever home. So we will eventually move. So this film, I have a kind of capsule of our home. You unfortunately will get bigger. I wish that didn't happen, but you will. You'll get taller and grow up, and we've got kind of like a family. It'll be cool to see you 10 years from now. I mean, we were just saying, my God, the kids that are here that we haven't seen in a while, right? So for me, it was just a kind of cool bonus. It's like I have my family in it, and it's in our home, and again, that was just kind of cool. It was a cool bonus for me.
Also, it's always something you don't know that you do together.
Yeah, it's together. That's kind of like our family motto. We do everything together. You were being Hartwell. It was the day before the reshoot, and we're like cuddling in bed, and I give you a kiss and turn over, and Eric goes, babe, there's like, if there's anything else in the world that I could do tomorrow, I would like to do that, other than what you asked me to do. I love you, honey. But that's Eric. That's a true, good guy. He's just like, what do you need to do? Okay, I'll do it.
And not to burst your bubble, you are an actor.
Yes. So good.
Bubble burst.
So good. He didn't need a lot of coaching. Everyone's like, oh, Lisa coached him. And a little bit. You didn't need a lot of coaching. You did great. I think you being a writer and writing it too really helped you get in the mindset. All right, cool. Are we complete? Any more questions?
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being the first people ever to see it. And if you want to leave like a 20, 30-second little what you thought about the movie, William's going to have his phone. We'll collect testimonials. That'll help us hopefully get into film festivals and be able to share this story far and wide. So if you'd like to do that, go see William. And thank you for being here. And we'll see you soon.